good Monday. Oh, you didn't like that?
I don't know.
No,
There's a lot of energy.
I don't know if I didn't.
I
I
was
was definitely thrown off by it.
Yeah, I like
the cadence.
I like the energy. I didn't like the
pitch.
tone.
The
Yeah, the
pitch.
pitch. Yep.
It's Monday.
Yeah, it was
The
flat.
octave.
Yeah.
Sorry
okay.
about that. Okay, guys.
I wasn't saying
Welcome
it was
into the
bad, man.
PHNX Sun Devils show. I'll be better next time.
Yeah,
I'm Anthony Toshi. He's Shane Diefenbach.
yeah, I am. Yeah, you are.
All the way down there is Shawn DePaz.
Yeah, he is.
And then auditioning for his third time round. He's got his third callback. Grant House, ASU
Yeah,
Swim and
he is.
Dive legend. You're a legend at this point, right?
Thank you. Thank you.
At what point are you
Hold
a part
on.
of the program so long that you become a legend?
Nothing matters right now. Grant,
No?
I have a really important question to ask you.
Hit me.
We haven't asked you. You've been here for 2 shows. Do you pee in the pool?
Yes, 100%, all the time.
Good.
I did twice today.
Good.
Respect.
Okay. Well, you said before the show you had a question for Grant.
Yeah,
It was
segue
important.
that now.
I literally have no idea how. I mean, did you do it in the NCAA's pool?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is it like
Yeah.
a bucket list thing? Like, are you like, shit, I really
you
want to pee
just-
in that pool?
You do it so often that it's just
Yeah.
like second nature oftentimes.
Is it cool to think about though? Like a checklist? Like you're like, damn, I peed in that pool. I peed in that pool.
I haven't thought of it that way, but
Could be.
maybe I need to. Yeah,
That's
just
what
kinda
you do?
cycle
No,
through.
no, because I haven't been to a lot of cool pools.
Well,
Like,
but just regular pools.
The
I've peed
local
in the
community
McDowell Mountain
pools.
Ranch local community. Like,
Yeah.
that's not that cool.
Dobson.
He's like the
Red
one behind my
Mountain View.
apartment. Yeah. Okay. Well, Grant, obviously you guys are fresh off of a phenomenal season. The performance that you guys put up at NCAA's was the best in program history. You guys finished second overall. Just what did it mean for you to be a part of this past season and then such a historic team?
Yeah, it was very surreal, being here my freshman year. We actually went backwards in rankings at NCAA's. And we were actually at Minnesota as well, which was kind of a full circle moment, starting in Minnesota, ending in Minnesota. And, we had probably the worst meet I've ever been a part of my freshman year at NCAA's. And to just have the complete antithesis and opposite of that, my final year here was just surreal. I mean, Léon Marchand went undefeated this year, a perfect season, which has only been done by Natalie Coughlin, one of the most renowned Olympians of all time. Especially in USA swimming. And just to culminate that with a Pac-12 title win for the team, first Arizona team ever in history. That was just very surreal, very awesome, moving up from 6th last year. And I think the year before that, it was obviously 2 years with COVID and the red shirt, moving up from, I believe it was 20th, is just such an incredible rise. The most improved team in the NCAA, I believe the past 5 years. At least cumulative too. And it's just been so cool to see so many of the freshmen. I mean, there was an infographic today that the freshman class was the highest scoring class in all of the NCAA. Just my freshman year, I was the only person, only one of 2 that were there. And we had, I think, 9 guys at Pac-12s this year holding that trophy. And I was like, wow, what a difference it has been in 6 years at this point. So I'm incredibly proud of the team. And I would have loved to get the gold at the end, but runner up is just so incredible for this program to reach new heights, and it's only going to get better. I truly believe, and it's just going to be a huge momentum shift from here on out. Honestly.
Yeah. You talked about him, Shawn. You want to say his name?
Léon Marchand.
Last time you were here, we were kind of talking about him, and you said, we just asked you what he was like as a person. You talked about his competitive nature, but kind of reserved. Has he opened up a little bit now that he's just winning and winning? What, 26 of 26 was it?
Yeah, I think something like that. I will plug. The only person who did beat him was 100 freestyle was me at the intro squad. So Léon, just stay humble.
Let him know.
Yeah, I gotta keep him in check. Did beat him in the 200 freestyle leadoff too at Pac-12s, not at NCAA's, but gotta take the wins when you get them. But yeah, I mean, when he's around people he's very comfortable with, he's pretty goofy, he's pretty funny, but he's just so soft spoken. I mean, even before at preliminaries of the 200 IM at NCAA's, he just came over to me. I didn't have the best swim the night before on the relay. He had a phenomenal swim that night. And he just came over to me. He's like, let's just go have fun. Just go have fun. And I was like, in my head, I was like, well, Yeah, I want to, and I did make me smile and have more fun. And I was like, well, you're about to go like a 137, and that's way more fun than like me right now. I was like, I'm just trying to figure out how to final right now. But it was just so true. I was like, dang, like he is right. Like, let's just enjoy it, enjoy the moment. Made me smile, and I think brought out a better performance than I was gonna have if he didn't say that. So, my 200 freestyle on Friday, I saw on the video review, like he had just swam the 400 IM. I think those two are the top two, if not comparably the hardest events in swimming. And moments after he finished his, I saw him in front of our camera for a video review cheering me on. And I was like, he's just awesome.
Yeah.
Like, this guy's ridiculous.
I mean, from a guy that age, the maturity level is insane. Did you see that progress through the season?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially since last year, just how he goes about it. I think a lot of it's just familiarity with coming into America too, but just how he goes about the process, how he goes about handling himself. And more importantly, this year, really like supporting everyone else in a very purposeful and intentional way. Going like throughout the meets, not just kind of doing his own thing or just figuring it out. This year, he really stepped into a better leadership role beyond just, balling out, just being an absolute savage in swimming. But just being a great leader, someone to go to, speaking up when it needs to be spoken up, and just going about it that way. I was really proud of him for that, and it was just spoke volumes to his maturity as well. He's not the most outspoken guy, but he definitely knows the right things to say and knows how to keep the mood light when it needs to be said.
Have you ever been around a guy like that dominant? Like, what did you know that this was gonna be who he was, or does he keep like still surprise you?
At this point, like training with him every day. I mean, I had some people like when we were warming down, we were watching one of his events and they're like, what's it like to like train with him every day? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's pretty fun. Like whatever your specialty is, like, you know, you're going to compete up against someone who's the best in the world, no matter what stroke it is, what event, what discipline. But yeah, I mean, it's just incredible, like how dominant it is. It's almost like we've kind of gotten used to it at ASU a little bit. When he won Worlds in the 4am last year, I was like, yeah, he'll probably be like about a 405, like 2, and I think he was like a 404.7, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty on par. And like, it's incredible. Like, don't get me wrong, and I feel almost bad sometimes. I'm like, yeah, I'm just like so used to him throttling everything every day. But even at the 200 IM at NCAAs, I was like, yeah, like 135.7, and he was 136.2 or something like that. So it's just like the margins are so fine tuned and so small that we're used to it. Like even like his one of his other best friends and his, I think, roommate, Jackson Stallworth, tweeted out the 3 times for all 3 of his events. The whole differential between all of them, I believe, was 5/10. He predicted exactly one of the times to the 100th. The other one, he was a 10th off. And I think the other one, he was like 4/10 off. But the fact that he actually guessed the time exactly right, and that time was a second faster than anyone in history had ever done before, is just absolutely insane.
That's unreal.
Yeah, and it was incredible. Like, he sent me this picture too of his like, he's like, oh, I got the timestamp. I didn't just like make this up. I was like, okay, it's valid. It's valid. But we're just used to it. It's insane. It's still incredible to see it happen every time, but you're like, all right, he's gonna do something incredible, and he just takes these home run hits and never misses. I think that's the thing that's incredible, is every time it's a home run almost.
Yeah, I think people aren't even surprised now when he wins or breaks a record. It's more of like, oh, the other person kept it close. Like, it's almost more impressive if someone is able to not even keep up, because nobody this season was able to keep up with him. It's truly incredible. It's going to be special, obviously, what he does. Are you coming back next year? Do you have any eligibility left?
I don't think so. There's some stuff in the works, actually. Trying to figure out with the COVID and the redshirt year. But that's I'm actually meeting with someone tomorrow to like figure that out. But it's like 97%. I'm done at this point. And like maybe a 3% like Hail Mary. Like,
so you're trying.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little glimmer of hope, but I mean, yeah, I think at this point I've used up as much eligibility as I can.
So what's next then for Grant House if it's not on the pool deck for ASU?
Yeah, it'll still be on the pool deck, just in a different capacity. You know, I want to train out here with Herbie. He's still going to be out here for all I know. We've talked, and you know, next immediate steps are we have a meet in Chicago to start the long course season. Graduation in May, so I'll finally be done with school. Graduate program. Shout out to the Sports Law and Business program, SLB, and just kind of move on to that. I'm gonna I've been looking at internships. Was looking at internships this morning and moving that forward. But yeah, just progressing into qualifying for the World Championship team at the end of June this year, and then the Olympic trial team. They're the Olympics team at Olympic trials in 2024 June.
Wow.
Well, we wish you all the luck with that, but I think the thing that everyone else is asking is, you know, probably the more important question is, have your TikToks taken off? Have your reels taken off? Have you been able to figure out the algorithm, Grant House?
The TikToks have, I definitely took a step back. I hopped off social media for championship season. Just like remove the distraction.
Zero Dark 30.
Yeah, Zero Dark G. And so, but Instagram went up. I gained like 1.5 million followers just by, and it's a testament. I was like, yeah, if I just ball out, things are going to make it happen. I had that interview after Pac-12s with Pit Vipers and just the Thunderlips handlebar mustache that just went pretty viral. Yeah. So that helped me out. But yeah, just doing well through the team and all that. I was like, it'll take care of itself. So back on. I think I dropped a TikTok like last week or maybe a couple days ago. I don't know. But back on that, back on the Twitter grind, back on the Instagram grind, and just building the brand. Actually trying to get my podcast out. Shameless plug, Swim Bros Podcast. On YouTube now, trying to get some video going on that, but getting some more consistency rather than months and years in between episodes.
I've heard dancing is becoming big again. Are you going to dabble into the dancing TikToks?
Dancing, just like Dancing with the Stars?
No, dancing TikToks. Like Renegade.
I think you and Jalen Conyer should do a duo like dance video.
I mean, I'm down to learn. I mean, the hips don't lie, Shakira. But yeah, I mean, I'm open to anything. Typically, it's just training videos right now, making fun of myself sometimes, and just the swimming community. But well, I'm open to anything.
Love it.
I'm no savant on TikTok yet.
Have you been able to get coached in any of your TikToks or anything like that?
Herbie, I've gotten Herbie a couple times. Logan, Derek. Haven't gotten the Bowmaster in there yet. Not yet. We'll see.
Have you asked, or is it just like you're just waiting for the right time?
I think I'm waiting for the right time.
Because I feel like
you're waiting to call in the one favor.
Yeah,
the one. Bob.
I need this. Please.
I think you just need like the best idea ever.
I think he's ready to like put himself on full display there.
Yeah.
I think that's like that could be a secret like niche.
Yeah.
TikTok dancing.
Recruiting tool.
Bob Bowman.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a sentence.
He's an okay coach. I'm sure he'd kill it on social.
Yeah,
dominating.
Just an average coach,
dominating.
You know? My gosh. Well, you know, obviously you're still fighting for at least one more year of eligibility on the pool deck. I'm interested to see how that goes. If it doesn't work out, ASU basketball, they've got some roster spots open.
Yeah,
I don't know what your basketball eligibility would look like.
I'm 6'6", and I've got some weight to gain. So sitting at a lean 215, I added 10 pounds just in a couple months over COVID without swimming in like 12 weeks. So Bobby Hurley, Lob City, sitting right here, right here in Tempe and Phoenix. So.
Maybe him and Luke can put their eligibility together.
Oh, half a year
each? Yeah, they get half a year each.
Just for championship season, the back end. All right, yeah.
I like it.
Well, before we get into everything ASU basketball, the NFL draft is approaching. And guys, if you didn't know, we tell you just about every single day.
We need a bow cam.
Yeah, we do. The Arizona Cardinals suck. That is why they have.
Did you hear they're releasing DeAndre Hopkins?
Really?
Like for sure, yeah.
Just straight up cutting.
They might be trading.
That's a lie.
They're literally just going to trade the 3rd overall pick to the Tennessee Titans for nothing.
Nothing. Yeah,
they're just charity.
Yeah, guys. Regardless, the NFL draft is going to be a good time, and if you need a place to watch it, there's no place like the 8th Street Pub in Tempe. It's an absolute blast of a vibe. We were there, obviously, last Wednesday doing all of the PHNX shows. If you haven't been, check it out. Again, NFL draft, April 27th. Go check it out.
Yeah, I'm not going to be there because I'm going to be in a different country. But
different country.
Yeah.
Wow, what country?
You guys can have fun. I don't want to dox myself. Actually, it's a pretty big country. I'm going to be in Mexico.
Moving.
Yeah, that's what I thought he said too.
Moving to Mexico?
That's what I thought you said. You were moving to Mexico.
You did say that.
No, I'm not going to be there for the draft because I'm going to be in a different. Maybe I said moving. I'm not moving.
Where are you going to Mexico?
I'm not telling you.
Why?
'Cause I don't
Keep
want
it. That's
docs.
cartel
Come
style.
on, yeah,
right
come
there.
on, man.
Yeah. It's gonna call in some
Narco season.
You know what? Never
5.
Yeah.
mind. Carry on.
But actually, I don't think I can do this there. But you know, we can't. I'm going to be on BetMGM most of the time.
Okay.
Most of the time, probably right before my flight. Get all
Yeah.
of my futures in before. And if you haven't signed up for BetMGM yet, why don't you do it right now? Use that bonus code PHNX, and you will get up to $200 in bonus bets on your first wager with BetMGM. Here's how it works. All you got to do is download the BetMGM app, sign up with bonus code PHNX, place a pregame moneyline wager in any amount of at least $10 on any standard market price. You'll receive $200 in bonus bets instantly, regardless of the outcome of your wager. You get it instantly. Just make sure you use bonus code PHNX when you sign up. And now my wonderful voice. Disclaimer, 21 plus to wager. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in Washington, D.C., Mississippi, Nevada, New York, and Ontario. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369, New York. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP, Arizona. 1-800-522-4700, Kansas, Nevada. 1-800-327-5050, Massachusetts. 1-800-BETS-OFF, Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help, Michigan. Yeah.
Love that. We got your brother in the chat saying Grant has some outstanding post moves. Is this true? And how many? I'm curious. If you played, let's say you just played a half at the college basketball level,
The college basketball level.
and for ASU, how many points you scoring?
I'd like to think I could at least get 2 buckets.
2
Wow.
buckets.
Yeah,
Okay,
2 buckets.
respect.
I'd like to think that. Like, I'm not gonna toot any more than that. I could be solely just a Dennis Rodman guy, just going out there getting physical,
Yeah, I like
but
it.
pulling in the rebounds. But I'd say like 2 buckets. Not gonna be like the craziest scorer out there, but I think I can manage 2.
Okay, that's fair. There's a guy on ASU's roster, or used to be at this point currently, that
No.
wouldn't even. Well, yeah, he's not on the roster.
Yeah, he is. He's maintaining his
Yeah, but
eligibility.
he's entering his name into the
But
NBA.
that doesn't
draft.
take him off the roster because he's maintaining his eligibility.
Okay, well,
Until
he's
he
got his
accepts
eligibility.
anything, yeah, he's
Until
good.
until he's drafted. He didn't even score 2 buckets a game.
Says a lot. I mean,
Just saying.
put me in the G League. Just why even
There were
bother-
games where
yeah.
he did not score 2 buckets a game.
But saying he didn't score, that means he didn't average 4 points a game, which is not true. Because he did.
Fake
You
news.
see what I deal with here?
Well,
I mean, you
Keep you accountable.
you got my
Keep you
back, Shawn,
accountable.
right?
yeah, you were wrong. So
Frankie Collins enters his name into the 2023 NBA draft. This announcement he had made on Instagram. I want to say it was Friday that he made that announcement. I remember waking up from a nap and seeing that and texting you guys, be like, well, the roster is just absolutely decimated, because this was the one guy from start to finish, I feel like at the end of last season, that you're like, okay, he's coming back. He's said on social media, like the whole recruiting thing, all that, and then kind of out of nowhere, it was just like, okay, he's entering his name in the 2023 NBA draft while maintaining eligibility. The expectation that we've all kind of got is he's not getting drafted, but this is more of he can go through the combine and he can get some feedback on his game, which for me, I don't know about you guys, I love the fact that he entered his name into the NBA draft to get this kind of feedback.
Yeah. I think you had a little post-nap haze when you texted us that, saying the roster's decimated, and I was like, he'll probably come back, and then like literally 5 minutes later, you're like, yeah, you're right. But I see where you were thinking, because when you see that long post, like if you guys haven't seen it, it's like 3-4 paragraphs worth of words that, a lot of people don't read. They're probably just like, back NIL, no one's paying. I'm like, then you realize at no point in the message did he say thank you for everything, or he said thank you, but at no point did he say like I'm leaving, basically.
Yeah.
Like it didn't sound like it just sounded like I'm not worried. I think he'll be back, and if he does get drafted, awesome, love that. But
yeah. I mean, let's be real about who he is as a player. He's not an NBA caliber player,
Yeah.
at least at this point in his career.
Yeah.
And so I'm not concerned about him leaving at all. And to what JJB said, wouldn't it have been a better look if he said he was leaving to get feedback? I don't think you can like really do that. Like you can't just be like, I'm not actually trying to get drafted. I just want feedback. Like, so I don't really have a problem with that, but it definitely, I think the initial reaction, like it was definitely tough when it was like, he seemed like it was the team's biggest voice. Like he was the leader for the team. And then all of a sudden he was just like deuces.
yeah,
And like, so at first it was tough, but I am not, if like my level of concern that he is leaving is literally zero.
You know what's funny? Like a day or two before that, I was reading an article from I genuinely don't remember where it was from, but it was an Arizona-based company, and they said they were going over the roster and talking about. I think it was right after. I forget. I think maybe right after Dev said he's coming back. And in the article, they said that the only 2 players who have made their future known are Dev and Frankie. And I'm like, Frankie never said anything.
He certainly implied it, but he never said it.
He definitely implied
words,
that he was coming back.
So I have faith that he'll be back, and I'm not worried. I would love him to be back. I think it would really hurt if he doesn't come back.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, then your roster is decimated. Considering that in terms of transfer portal gets, you still only have Malachi Davis.
But you can't say decimated before it's set in stone.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
if he leaves, Bobby's going to go get another
straight
guy.
up, if you look at the roster from last year, already the end of their NCAA tournament games versus now, they've lost Des Cambridge. Warren Washington is still TBD. Yeah. You lost Austin Nunez. You lost Jemiah Neal. You lost Enoch. You lost Lou. Like,
definitely
right there, that is
out there, Grant. They're definitely going to need you out there.
That is a lot of players that you have lost.
Well,
Scrapping for bodies.
but you're not talking about the unknowns. You're not talking about the guys you're getting in the portal, and you're not talking about if their final decisions have been made yet.
Yeah, but as it stands right now, these players are not at Arizona State.
Your roster looks like it could be decimated. Yeah. I think it's unfair to say it is. Like
I think if this was 6 years ago, then you'd be like, this roster's decimated. But exactly. I think the reality of college athletics now is that, like I had said last week, guys leave before they come. Like they have to. Guys are going to enter their names in the portal before they choose a new school. So naturally, you're going to have what looks like a decimated roster. Look at last year. Yeah. Like 4 of your 5 starters were from the transfer portal. So yeah, I'm not all concerned. If we get to September and the roster looks like this, then
panic button.
Yeah, just smashing the panic button.
Yeah, but I mean, to Totri's point, like if you're looking at it right now, you don't
like
names to throw out there.
You don't like it being unknown. Like you'd much rather it be 6 years ago, where you're like, okay, our team's going to be relatively the same as it was last year. But sadly, that's not, or not sadly, but just the reality is that that's the reality.
Yeah, Karen in the chat bringing up Grant's eligibility. Karen, one of our diehards here that is constantly in our Discord talking about ASU Swim and Dive. Constantly.
Beautiful.
So,
beautiful. Love to hear that. Love the spirit, Karen.
I'll text in the chat with a super chat.
Love it.
Just know if the Suns draft him, he's going to bring them a championship every season until he retires. Bring on
Love that energy. Love that energy.
Frankie going from Frankie to Suns legend Frankie.
Suns legend Frankie Collins.
That fits Altec's MO.
Yeah. Favorite athletes, Frankie Collins and Zach Cassian.
Okay, Altex might not be Zach Cassian. Is he Frankie Collins?
That would be...
I'd have...
Altex, you don't have a picture with Frankie Collins yet. So you cannot confirm or deny.
Well, but if...
That'd be pretty crazy if it was Frankie Collins and they waited this long to be in here.
Yeah, bro. What happened? Why weren't you watching during the season?
He was playing.
True. That didn't stop Jalen Graham.
Well, yeah.
Or Duke Brennan.
That's true. That is
or
absolutely
apparently
true.
Anybody on the team.
That's who you need to make TikTok videos with.
Yeah,
Duke Brennan.
You got to teach Duke.
Yeah.
I feel like Duke could be a Grant House
of basketball
or swim and dive.
Yeah, sure.
I will say this. I think it would be harder for a lot of other sports to enter swimming than it would be for me to enter a lot of the other sports.
Well, yeah, because you're at the end of the day an athlete. But you could be the best athlete in the world and not know how to swim.
Yeah.
So it's like baseball. It's like you could be the best athlete ever, but it's still really hard to hit a baseball. Like it doesn't always translate.
Yeah, that's a very skill-based sport though. Like swimming is very fitness and athleticism. I'll say fitness and like well-being. But like baseball, I mean, now with the pitch clock, I mean they're kind of getting a little aerobic there for the pitchers. But I mean, if you're left field, you're out there just picking daisies sometimes for hours.
Yeah,
hours a day.
And sometimes you're just getting home runs hit over your head.
Yeah,
like the White Sox today.
Right.
That was tough, man. Yeah. Home run, then a fly out, home run.
Just like how our recruiting season's going to be this year.
Yeah, are we currently?
We've had a couple flyouts, but now there's 2 outs. We're about to hit 4 bombs in a row.
Okay, I'm here for it.
Do you think Hurley looks for a point guard? JJS. Yeah.
I think he's looking for guards in general.
2 guards.
Well, I also think he's just looking for every position. Best player available. Yeah. Colorado. Oh boy.
Big man.
Oh man. Not only do they have a top 3 recruit in the country in Cody Williams, but now they have a top 5 transfer in Eddie Lampkin. And they have
Eddie Lampkin, top 5 transfer in the nation.
I mean, there's a lot of people that are undecided. You're right, but a top 20, I would say for sure.
Yeah.
And they have KJ Simpson coming back. I don't know if anybody else. I know their other big man left and is going to Utah, but they're going to be a problem.
This might be a dumb question. I'm just curious what you guys think. Do you think other sports, in terms of getting recruits and transfers and just the hype, any of that you think has to do with the Deion boost? Even though it's
Colorado?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Well, that's what I was going to ask Grant. I wanted to ask you about that. Like, just being here while everything's going on with football, and there's clearly like a new energy around that program, and it seems like a lot of ASU athletics. Is that something that you felt being in a program that's obviously not connected to Kenny Dillingham or any of that at all? Or were you kind of in your own world still?
Your own pool.
Wow, good plug there. I think it was. I mean, I'd like to attest that the swimming program, hopefully other sports were looking at it, but was like an energy center of itself.
Yeah.
I mean, the highest performing sport in all of ASU, I think in the last, as far as I've known, since I've been here now this year, not all the years before. But I mean, Dilly came to the pool one day. I'd swam early because I had class conflicts. So I was kind of bummed that I didn't get to meet him, but I was like, dang, like I'm sitting here saying I'm bummed that I didn't get to meet the football coach. I haven't said that before.
Yeah.
Because I got to met the Herm train before. But I was like, dang, he took his time to come out and visit like with our coaches, see what our setup was doing, see our standard of excellence. So I'd say like at a more maybe successful program of history, it might be a more exciting thing, but definitely like Deion going to Colorado, electric. Like that's got to excite the entire university. I was excited to see that for like the Pac-12 and all the sports there, but just getting the name, getting the publicity to it. Yeah,
he's not.
What?
No,
He's a Deion
I'm not a giant Deion.
He doesn't
fan.
think. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say 24/7's transfer ratings.
Oh wait, did you hear what just happened? Like 8 minutes ago?
No.
This country's second leading scorer, Max Abmas from Oral Roberts, entered the portal. 24 points a game last year.
Well, Eddie Lampkin was the 62nd ranked transfer prospect. Ahead of him, Austin Nunez and DJ Horn. Both
Yeah, I mean,
look at that
Eddie
fact
Lampkin.
check.
I would
That's an
absolutely. I would
impressive-
take DJ already.
right there.
Just it's just ranking that. I don't know.
I'm really interested to see obviously where they go. It's going to be unique situation.
And
I
also
think, for all
top
of them.
10, Khalif Battle. Recognized.
Is he actually?
Yes, he's good, dog. I'm trying to tell you.
Okay. I bet Abmas gets in the top 10 immediately as soon as he gets like it's official. Because dude,
You know who number 3 is? JJ Starling, Notre Dame transfer to Syracuse. Just saying.
Congratulations on
You're
that.
Go Irish.
By the way,
Go Cuse.
that's how you get it back right there.
Go Cuse.
Bring up Deion and you just say go Irish. We're friends again. Okay, just wanted to get that out
damn,
there.
you hate Deion that much.
I don't hate Deion. I've never said I hate Deion.
What's the beef then?
I don't
What's the
hate
beef?
Deion.
You just said he brought up Deion's name, so you didn't like him.
There's just something about Deion.
You don't. Yeah, you hate him.
I don't hate him.
You
that
just
is
dislike
a
him.
strong word.
Strong
Despise.
dislike.
Yeah, I don't despise him either. That makes him sound
you
like he's
strongly
my
dislike him.
Nemesis.
Yeah, I think Deion knows I'm his nemesis. To be honest, with
I
you.
feel like he doesn't know who you are.
He's just
Yeah.
not. He's waiting to pounce.
He's waiting to pounce. He's just waiting.
Have
for
we
me to
seen
say
all
it.
texts with Deion?
Whoa. Well, he's campaign.
I mean, I think it's a matter of like, regardless of whether he's like competent at anything of head coaching or knowing exactly all the technicalities of everything, I'm not going to speak to that. But in regards to bringing resources, raising culture, which is a lot of things, raising excitement, like that's honestly, I believe, half the battle in collegiate sports.
Yep.
And once you have attention into the program and you can bring donors, you can bring boosters, you can bring support, I mean, your program is naturally going to elevate, whether you're a competent coach, you're the best coach, or you're the worst coach. Like whether it's Deion or Joe Schmo, I don't, whoever it is, if you can bring that excitement and that name into it, you're going to elevate the program.
As obviously, it's a little different with the Bowmaster, as you said, but he's obviously a legend in his own right. What is it like being an athlete that is like, I guess, in your swimming or playing for a coach that is in some ways like bigger than the program almost? Is that ever like a weird experience for you or anything like that?
I think at the start it was, and it's kind of like the Léon effect of like it's just become a normalcy. But every time it's just so astounding to see the level of excellence that Bob not just like has for us, but demands from us. Whether it's in practices, it's at a dual meet, it is always at this championship, the best we can be caliber on a constant basis. And I think that's what's really helped us elevate it, whether we've reached it or not, whether we've succeeded or not, whether we've attained like actualized our truest potential. It's always just maintaining this goal, this projection of trying to be at that highest caliber we can. And I think that comes from all the levels of experience he's had, like the most renowned, obviously Michael, Allison and Chase Kalish. Some of his biggest names he's coached, but he's coached a lot of other people, like being at Michigan as well, and time in college there and at North Baltimore Aquatic Center. He's coached a lot of athletes, and just maintaining that, learning those standards of excellence, knowing where people fell off, where they didn't, being at all these international meets, talking to other coaches as well. I mean, he definitely has had the experience and exposure to all those different levels. It's pretty crazy to think about sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. The bar is definitely set with a super high standard for ASU Swim and Dive. Championship or bust, gold or bust. They set the same standard at Burrito Express, guys. It's a championship level standard at Burrito Express. They have the best burritos in the valley, in the country. Shawn, I would say even the world.
I would say the entire universe.
The entire universe.
Milky
Burrito
Way.
Express. The entire Milky Way. Don't get me into space, man. Space is a whole other conversation.
Neil deGrasse, next guest.
Guys, if you haven't checked out Burrito Express, I don't know what you're doing. Got great prices. It's just overall a great place. And they got locations all over the valley. Plus, they've got themselves a couple NIL athletes in Elijah Badger and Jazz Hill. So every time you guys go to Burrito Express, you're also in turn supporting Arizona State athletes as well, guys. So go check them out and give them a follow on social at Burrito EXP.
And, the only thing, at least in my opinion, better than competing in a championship is, getting that burrito and watching a championship. Because, I mean, anybody can be, a high-level athlete, compete in a championship. Not everybody has access to Burrito Express or to Fubo TV.
There you go.
And obviously, a championship yesterday, championship tonight. There's also NCAA hockey championships coming up, and you can watch that on Fubo. So get Fubo. Get a burrito and then get Fubo. There's 140 live channels of sports, shows, movies, and news. I was watching D-backs yesterday on Fubo. I watched Coyotes games on Fubo. I watched Rangers, Phillies, Sunday Night Baseball yesterday on Fubo. I watched the NCAA Women's Championship on Fubo. They got it all for a sports lover, which I love because I was so tired of like the alternative streams. Like they always had these things popping up. And it's kind of an inside joke, I guess. But it's just better. Fubo, you don't got to worry about those pop-up ads or whether or not you're going to get a virus on your computer or something.
And if you want a dancing cat at halftime, just Google dancing cat.
What?
Some of the alternative streams at halftime.
That might be a personal thing, but
you know what I'm talking about? You've never seen that?
No.
One of the alternative streams at halftimes of all the games, instead of like going to a commercial or something, it's the cat that's head bobbing.
Oh, nice. Yeah. That's dope. That's dope. You don't got to worry about no head bobbing cat on Fubo.
You don't. It's not personal, I promise.
And like I said, Bally Sports is on Fubo. So use the link in our description to sign up for Fubo, and you'll get 15% off your first month of Fubo Pro. Fubo's a vibe. Oh, they also have DVR. So, you miss sports. You could record it. You could have seen Angel Reese talk big shit to Caitlin Clark on your DVR with Fubo. So get it.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Caitlin Clark and the whole championship and just all that stuff. First off, the whole, I guess, people after the championship have just, I feel like, totally stopped talking about the game.
Yeah, they immediately stopped talking
and
about
how
the
good
game.
of a team LSU was and Caitlin Clark. And it's just turned immediately into the trash talk and the whole John Cena wave thing. It blows my mind.
It doesn't blow my mind. There's just a lot of racists on the internet, but
yeah, that's fair.
I love it. Like I was so tired of people pretending like female athletes aren't athletes and they aren't competitive. Like I don't know what you expect.
And that's why when people are isolating this, I'm like, shut the fuck up. What do you
What are you
This
talking
happens.
about? And also, let's
They're
be
just
real.
talking their shit.
Caitlin Clark was doing this in the last round. What are we talking about? Why are we all upset about it now?
So
I know why we're upset about it now.
Well, okay, but here's the reasoning that you're getting is because she followed her around and she wasn't doing it the whole game. Motherfucker. First of all, I not Grant because he's a high level athlete. You're not out here. You don't know what it's like to play ball at YMCA. You get it competitive a little bit. You start talking your shit. You can hold that feeling. You do not know what it's like to be at the highest level of collegiate sports, playing for a championship, going up. And even before the game is over, you're not even thinking about that. All you're thinking about is winning. So once you see that shit is locked up and you see Caitlin Clark, who's been talking her shit the entire tournament, hell fucking yeah, you're going to talk your shit. And you know what Angel Reese said? I was being unapologetically myself.
Yeah.
Like, that's who she is.
And also, she was doing this before. Like, she's done the ring thing before. That LSU team is just such a vibe. Also, unrelated, Flo J, she's just like a very good rapper. Like a very legitimate rapper. Her dad was a rapper, and she's just like, her Twitter bio was, I'm a rapper and I hoop sometimes. Like, she is a rapper. She's fucking phenomenal. But yeah, just shut the fuck up.
Her nickname is the Bayou Barbie.
That's
one of the
so hard.
hardest nicknames.
Goes so hard. I rock with her heavy. I also rock with Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Like, that shit is dope. I like them talking shit. That's why this was like the most fun year of NCAA women's basketball I've ever watched.
I talked about this on Bets, and it's to no fault of the athletes, but the marketability for the WNBA just hasn't been there, whether it's getting it on TV or just promoting it everywhere else. You cannot tell me that this is not the most that the country, I mean, the statistics say,
it's the most watched,
watched college basketball, women's college basketball, and for good reason. I mean, even without this tiff that happened at the end, you had Haley Van Lith and Caitlin Clark going at it. You had Caitlin Clark going at the entire school, USC, South Carolina. They're the real USC in women's college basketball.
Yes.
Like,
it's just fun.
It's just fun.
I mean, think about it too. Like we're sitting. I mean, obviously it's only one day old, but like we're talking about it continuously on and across the nation. I would hope they're talking about it too. But also the fact that I was discussing with other female athletes like yesterday, over the weekend, throughout this process. Like Caitlin Clark's been doing this all year, especially in championship mode. So clutch gene activated completely, and went up against a great team of several individuals instead of just herself.
Yeah.
And it only really took like one person to make this excitement. Like Caitlin Clark started this like essentially by herself. I'm sure there's dozens of phenomenal athletes and that played in the tournament as well that aren't getting the credit that they may deserve as well. But think about it, that we're talking about one singular athlete and drawing all this attention into the game, but also the kind of steering away from the game, the antics around it. But even just that one situation, one athlete is bringing so much attention to it. Like that has to be so encouraging, exciting. Like people need to tap into that energy and focus on that rather than like, oh, it shouldn't be this. It should be about the game. Like, shut up.
Because you don't hear that when Dame is walking down the court.
It's excitement towards their sport, which they don't unfortunately get.
And that's such a good point about her getting all of the attention. And I'm sure that's where it came from as well. Because Angel Reese on a really good team that, if you are a prolific watcher of women's college basketball, you notice how good this team is. And specifically Angel Reese. Like we've been talking about her before. But her numbers that she put up before the Final Four, she had a double-double every single game. 34 and 15, 22 and 11, 25 and 24. Yeah. Like she had been doing this.
Yeah, and I'm not like Caitlin Clark deserves
100%
like to be the center of attention in
but not get all of it.
But yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, and I mean, part of it is like kind of like the Steph Curry thing. Like some of the shit she's doing is just like the shots she's making. You've never seen a college athlete make those shots. Like you don't see that in the men's game either. Like the stuff she's doing is fucking ridiculous.
Like that shot to end the half by LSU too.
Dude, yeah.
That was incredible. Like off the traveling call, kind of like deflating into the first half. And then you go off right into transition to the fadeaway three off of translation. Like what?
To keep her, what was it like? To keep her perfect from three from the half. LSU was a bad 3-point shooting team for most of the tournament too, which was
and she had been crazy. She was I think like 6 of 24 from the field before she started off 8 of 8 or whatever it was.
And also like it's not like it's pure animosity. I retweeted, SportsCenter tweeted out a video earlier today of LSU player Alexis Morris, like waiting for Caitlin Clark in the hall before the game or after the semifinal, like just because she's a dog, and she was like, she literally said, I don't usually get excited to meet other athletes, but Caitlin Clark was a dog.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not like it's just all animosity. Like they're just being competitive because they're competitors and they're athletes.
They're athletes. It's what they do.
Go home.
It's
Do
funny
something
you
better with
brought
your
it up.
time.
ESPN just tweeted that it was the most viewed NCAA women's basketball game on record. It was up 103% from last year. They peaked at 12.6 million, and it was the most viewed college event ever on ESPN Plus, men's or women's.
Yeah, the ESPN Plus makes sense, but up 103%.
Ridiculous.
That's more than double the viewership of last year. That's
and that
insane.
And that you can credit, in my mind, in like 99% to Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Like those two are the biggest stars in college basketball. And I mean, obviously, the coaches are huge. Dawn Staley is amazing. Kim Mulkey is
she's not
interesting.
She's interesting,
but she's definitely a figure at the very least. Holly Rose said something funny during the show. She was like, everything she touches turns to gold, including her outfits. Well, her final four or her championship outfit was.
Can we talk about how she was also like the sixth man on the court?
She was had the technical.
I was like, she's at the 3-point line.
It was crazy.
She's about to take a pass.
Jose said Caitlin and Reese. Everyone's talking about them, but they won with teammates. Well, yeah, we just mentioned Jasmine Carson's start to the half. Obviously they did, but those are the two biggest figures, and that is what everybody's talking about today. And the reason why we brought this up is because of Totri.
Well, I was going to say, as far as Caitlin Clark is concerned, teams have won with their teammates more than Caitlin Clark won with her teammates. She was a lot of that.
So you bring that up because I want to say it was last night or yesterday afternoon. Jalen Strong had tweeted something along the lines of Caitlin Clark is the best Division I athlete, period.
Right now.
And I disagree.
Well, okay.
And part of it is I just don't think that you can go out and say this one person is the best athlete in Division I athletics.
Well, that's interesting you should say that because you were trying to make the case that somebody was.
No, I did not give you one specific athlete that should be.
You said Caleb Williams multiple times.
I said Caleb Williams. I said Léon Marchand. There is a bunch of different athletes that you could argue. And there is
two.
There's a bunch of there's Spencer Lee. I've got one of the best wrestlers in all of the NCAA.
Penn State?
Iowa. Ironically enough. 14-1 as a freshman, 23-3 as a sophomore, 15-0 as a junior, 6 golds at the Big Ten and NCAA championships, and 8 total medals, including a U.S. gold medal. I brought up Caleb Williams because he obviously had a ridiculous season, broke Cotton Bowl records. Obviously, they lost. He threw 5 touchdowns. He's definitely set to be the number 1 overall pick in next year's NFL draft. Okay? Caitlin Clark, phenomenal season. Léon Marchand, we talked about him. 26-0, first time in 20 years, 18 national and world records. Helped ASU obviously reach second NCAAs. This is one of my favorite that also always gets left out. Tiari Jennings, second base, Oklahoma softball. Ridiculous what she does. First in the country, 87 RBIs last year, second in home runs with 29. Finished the year with a above 400 batting average, 38 extra base hits, which ranked 5th in the nation. Had 6 multi-home run games, homering in 23 of Oklahoma's 62 games, and holds a bunch of women's college World Series records. So,
okay,
I don't think that it is fair to say that there is one specific athlete that is the best across all sports. It's the same reason that you don't get people like when there's the GOAT conversation. Michael Jordan, he's the GOAT in basketball. Tom Brady, he's the GOAT in football. Tiger Woods, whatever. Roger Federer. You don't get conversations of, Michael Jordan is the greatest GOAT of all time.
What?
Maybe we should have that. That should be a
Wait,
segment.
whoa.
I don't think you can compare. Like, you can't sit here and tell me, like, why is Caitlin Clark the best Division I athlete?
But this is the problem I had with it last night, and this is the only thing I argued with you about. You said it was an awful take, and it's not. She's arguably the best Division I player right now.
Every sport.
The best Division I athlete right now. She's arguably the best. You know who else is? Léon Marchand. You know who else is? Everybody else you said. It's not an awful take because it's an opinion that she is the best athlete in Division I right now. And that's okay. And if you want to say it's not arguable, then that can't be an awful take because then no one is.
Why is she better than Léon?
But your whole argument doesn't make sense if you're saying then we can't compare
This
these.
is the argument I'm making, is that you cannot compare them.
Okay, then why is it an awful take?
I think it goes outside. I think it goes outside the individual and into the sport. Like you can have 3 home runs in a game, get to the last inning, 2 outs, and the closer gives up a 3-run home run, and you lose the game. Yeah. And I think it goes to the fact of, in swimming, it's an individual sport wrapped in a team atmosphere. On an individual event, no one else is affecting your lane or swim as long as everything's going kosher there. But in basketball, obviously, there's 4 other people on the court and for your team, and then there's 6 other people on the bench typically, and then football, more hockey, other players. Like, it expands on outside of the scope of what you're able to control, and it almost becomes a position to position if you like analyze that. But I mean, in contrast to that, I never hear anyone talk about MJ being just the best position player of all time. It's like the best player of all time, because he did so much, obviously. But I think that's what makes it hard, is you have to really compare like the sports that are most applicable as well. Because like, I mean, you could go to like, I mean, I don't know his college career, but you could go into Paul Rabel, like for lacrosse as well, like the MJ of lacrosse.
Yeah.
And I think it's just so hard to compare as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's tough because like part of my thing with like the basketball GOAT conversation in particular is that the only reason I listened to Michael Jordan argument is in part because of his impact on the sport too. And I think that's important in terms of like the GOAT conversation. And I also think like the sport is important because the reality is that some sports are just bigger than others. And I mean, when you look at what Caitlin Clark has done, she is doing what Steph Curry did to the NBA. She's like revolutionizing the sport. She's breaking records. She dragged an Iowa team by herself to a national championship. Very few people can say that. And I mean, it is hard because like you look at Léon, like it's an individual sport and he's the most dominant at it. Like, yeah, he's the best. And so I don't think you can really compare individual sports to team sports because it's a completely different setup. But as far as like the team sports go, I don't really know how you can argue that it's not Caitlin Clark because A, the impact she's having on the sport, and B, she was the most dominant. Like no one has dominated a sport in a team sport in a single season the way that she did this year. Yeah.
I mean, I agree with what you're saying, Coach. You can't compare players from different sports to see who is better. Like it's not a 1-for-1 argument. But saying that it's an awful take that somebody thinks that she's the best athlete in Division I sports right now, I don't agree.
I think it's an awful take simply for the fact that I don't think that you can compare, like they're non-comparable things.
It's an awful take for having a take.
Yes, like there shouldn't be a take for that. In my particular opinion.
That's fair. I get that.
Because what you care about, right? Whereas when you say, you know, there are some people that like women's basketball more than swim and dive, or there are people that like wrestling more than lacrosse, right? There are people vice versa that feel the exact opposite.
Yeah, but all due respect, Grant, like the reality is there's more people watching women's basketball than there are swim and dive. Like absolutely. It is like it is. They are on different levels to a certain extent. I guess my issue is that best probably wasn't the right word to make the point that he was trying to make.
I think I think you could argue currently she is the most impactful.
Yeah.
Like best is just different.
That wrestler was pretty. I didn't know. I didn't hear that. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Pretty
but when you
ridiculous.
Yeah, that was pretty raw. When
and ironically enough, goes to Iowa too.
That stat line. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, like, because like realistically, and I know it's easy for all of us to sit here and say this, but if we're talking about the single most dominant athlete, like it is Léon.
Yeah.
He didn't lose. Like you can't. You literally. That is the definition of dominance.
He broke records, and it's all because of him.
Yeah,
like,
and it's an individual sport. I mean,
like obviously the training, but like individually,
pushing. Yeah. There you go. I mean, like
his dad.
Yes, his father, Grant House. I think it's an interesting conversation to have. I think she's definitely changed the way that people look at.
She's the biggest athlete in Division I sports right now, I would say.
Yeah, the biggest.
Yeah, definitely for me the most impactful. And I think if you listen to what she said post game about how like what the impact she wants to have with like young women and in terms of just like growing the game, I think she's definitely succeeded, and she's going to be a problem when she gets.
And it's like the Steph Curry thing. There's a bunch of kids who show up to gyms and all they do is shoot threes now because of Steph Curry, and there's going to be a bunch of young girls that start doing the same damn thing because of Caitlin Clark.
But I will say, you said the word "best" isn't the best thing to describe it, right?
Yeah.
Then why did you say Caleb Williams, best college athlete by a mile?
You did use those exact words.
Well, look, no, you're bringing up red receipts like I'm fucking like that was my immediate reaction. Okay, I had time to think about it, go look at some of these athletes, and that's the way I feel.
Okay.
Coming at me with red receipts.
Yeah, I am. I'm holding you accountable.
I think not to blast anyone, but like John with the biggest athlete too. I think like that's the wrong way to look at it too, because it's an aspect of best. I think it goes into ability and talent and skill, and then biggest. I think with how the world works now.
Yeah.
Like the social media.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably Livy Dunn.
If I was gonna say
Yeah.
like the Cavender twins,
Yeah.
like Livy Dunn, like
That's
if you're
very
talking
fair.
biggest and most like draw into a sport or a segment of sports, like that I think that starts to get really far away from the actual sentiment of skill and ability.
Yeah, that's a very fair point.
Yeah. So maybe best isn't that harsh of the wrong move.
Guys,
It's a
I'm gonna
real
tell you
full
about
circle moment here.
the best gas station. Okay,
Yeah,
And that's-
this is an argument.
Yeah,
This is
there we go.
unarguable.
Can't argue that Circle K is the best gas station, guys. They've got plenty of deals. They got iced coffee for less than $2, 12 packs of beers for less
I'm gonna be
than
there
10.
at like 5 a.m. tomorrow before
Yeah.
I take my
Really?
drive
We got
home.
five?
Monsters, everything in between, guys. Literally, there's Circle K's all over the valley, which I know it took you a minute to realize that they're everywhere.
Yeah, well, they're just not where I'm from, and I live in
Same.
my own world.
Same.
Right?
Yeah. No.
Right? I was made to feel like a dummy because I didn't know Circle K's were national, but they are.
The
If
goat
only
of
I
gas
had,
stations.
if only I had CircleK.com/store-locator, I would have known.
I'm just waiting till they go international.
Yeah, I think they are. Are there some from Canada? Oh,
Oh,
No way.
they are international. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure there's one.
well, let me go to CircleK.com/store-locator.
Okay. Let's see if there's any international Circle K's.
Yeah.
Okay.
For in Mexico.
yeah.
Yeah, gotta use it while you're in Mexico.
There you go.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe there's some over there.
Yeah, guys, make sure you're not missing out on all this great stuff and be stocked up for the
Yeah, there's multiple in Toronto. Fake Canadian.
Fake Canadian.
Wow.
fake Canadian.
Fake
Leah looks
Canadian.
unbothered.
Drowning in,
absolutely unbothered.
drowning in maple syrup over there.
Guys, be stocked up for the national championship game tonight. And for any sport that you guys take in, head to CircleK.com/store locator. Again, CircleK.com/store locator to find Circle K's near you.
Store dash locator.
Yeah.
Are we all team Dan Hurley tonight?
Yes, absolutely. I feel like you have to be.
Well, I know. Okay. Okay. Don't growl
Man,
in
why
the
are you
mic.
growling?
It's more of a moan.
No, I know you don't like UConn. But
I'm pro Dan
okay.
Hurley, anti-UConn.
take
See, he threw up the forks up.
Did he?
Well, he,
Yeah.
he threw up this,
What is his attempt?
He
That's-
tried,
that's the-
which is fine. Take the jerseys, logos away. Better team. You think UConn wins tonight?
Yeah.
Grant?
Not particularly close.
Yeah, I mean, I think UConn has to be like the dominant favorite.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it would be awesome to see San Diego
No,
State.
it wouldn't, Grant.
But,
That'd be good for the conference.
I mean,
Stop it. Stop it.
How are you gonna try and petition Bobby Hurley to let you on the basketball team, and you're over here rooting?
I'm not saying I'm
Against
rooting.
his
Now you're
little
just
brother.
putting words. You're putting words in my.
Breaking news: Grant House
Oh,
against Bobby
headline.
Hurley.
Wow.
Bobby Hurley.
Grant House in the transfer portal.
Oh shit! Headed to Iowa.
Yeah. He
Wow.
won't be. Yeah.
Talk about. Well, they don't have a swim team,
No,
so
you're
I
gonna
guess it
go-
would have to be basketball.
You're going to go wrestle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would done in probably the quickest match in history. I would be done for it. These limbs definitely not meant for
They're not wrestling limbs.
Dunzo.
What time's the game tip tonight? Like 5?
No.
6:20? Well, whatever
They're
time.
having that
tips.
shit at 9:20 on the East.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I just came from the East Coast this weekend, and I gotta say, it is always such a reminder how amazing it is to
Yeah.
be on the West Coast for sports
Yep.
and
Yes.
everything.
For
It's-
everything.
It is so hectic staying up for those games.
It's also good for happy hour because technically it comes earlier, and I know it's the same time over there, but
Do you know that? Did you know that Herm Edwards was an SDSU alum? Because I did not.
nothing cures nothing cures the Herm Edwards is a San Diego State University alum like fresh lime
Definitely
tequila.
pound the over
Lots
on
of-
UConn. Then definitely pound the over. on
There
UConn.
will be no defensive Hermas involved.
Yeah, sweet agave. Try out illegal Pete's coin premium or frozen margaritas. Stop by for happy hour 3 to 6 every single day, and we got some in the works for you guys.
Oh, some.
Something coming up soon. Maybe for the spring game.
Don't
We
make lunch plans.
We don't know.
For this promo.
make-
Don't make lunch plans. Well,
Okay.
Or breakfast plans.
Or breakfast plans. Don't make plans.
Don't make plans.
Well,
Except to go to the spring
What about
game.
brunch plans?
And the Pats
And
run.
go up to Pat's room.
Definitely participate in Pats
But outside of that, don't make plans.
Yeah.
You know what there would be a lot of if Herm was involved?
Recess.
No,
NCAA
recruiting.
violations?
Yeah, there we go. There you go. You know I was going to recruiting violations. Guys, any final thoughts before we get out of here?
I thought you were going to bring up like a whole other segment. I was like, okay.
Yeah. I thought-
Hey, you
Okay.
want to talk about Herm and the recruiting
I was like,
violations some more?
I thought we were just getting right back into it.
Yeah, I was like, okay, this is.
I feel like we have definitely talked enough.
Exhausted
about
that.
Yeah, for a while.
We still don't have
Don't
an answer
know.
about that.
No,
Like we
no,
still,
we still-
it's still in the air.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I'm not really worried about it, but it's still.
slap on the wrist. I'm anti-pugs and hugs right
Whoa.
now.
Whoa.
He's just said he's anti-Hurley.
Which Hurley?
Like the brand?
Andrew.
No, both Hurleys. Yeah, that'd be a crazy take.
I hate Andrew Hurley.
Andrew Hurley, human victory cigar.
So I'm going to take it. There is no final thoughts. You got no final thoughts. So get out of here.
Caitlin Clark, dog.
Dog.
Léon Marchand,
Dog.
Dog.
Angel Reese, dog.
Yep.
Caleb Williams, dog.
Bayou Barbie is a top 5 nickname all time.
Okay. Shawn DePause,
The Hamburglar.
dog.
The Hamburglar
Is
needs
a
to be
dog.
somebody's nickname.
Needs to be somebody's
That
name.
should be big boy from the Mets. That
Oh,
will play the Mets.
Vogelbach?
Yeah, Vogelbach. He's the Hamburglar.
No, it needs to be somebody that steals. Like,
Oh, yeah, fair
Dang,
enough.
that's a good
There,
call.
there is one in the NHL.
really?
Andrew Hammond. He's a goalie.
Oh,
The Hamburglar.
Oh, that is
Oh, and he
perfect.
robs people.
Oh, that's so good.
Good. That's
That might
amazing.
be top 2.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And we ain't talking too.
We could.
And we
Yeah.
ain't talking to.
We can talk best nicknames
Does
on
Leon
another
have a
show.
nickname?
Big baguette.
Did you?
Have you seen my clip where I said he's croissants, baguettes, and bodies? He's taking bodies.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Guys, on that note, if you enjoyed the content, give us a follow at PHNX _Sun Devils. You can follow me at Anthony _Toach. You can follow Shane at Shane Deef. You can follow Shawn DePause at Shawn _DePause.
A fan of the big baguette as always.
The big baguette. Wow. Grant, where can the peeps follow you on social?
Yeah, Instagram at mitochondria _house, Twitter, House the Mouse, TikTok, mitochondria house as well.
Pinterest?
And yeah, Pinterest.
Tumblr.
No, Flipboard back in high school. I don't know if that's still active or not, but yeah, follow the podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts at the Swim Bros Podcast.
Yep.
And YouTube channel just starting up again as well. So for the podcast and for tips and tricks in the pool.
Love
so
it.
at Mitochondria House as well.
Guys, everybody also say goodbye to Shawn
Oh yeah, I'm
because he's
gone
going
for a
on
week.
vacation. So that means we need to be prepared.
That's
Stay
Shawn.
safe with the cartel.
No, I'm not going on vacation. I'm going on vacation next
No, he's
week.
going on vacation later.
Yeah.
No, I'm going on
Mexico.
vacation tomorrow.
You're going tomorrow?
Tomorrow I'm going to California.
Oh, okay. That's
We
not the
need to just
cartel.
be aware because
it's
anytime
pretty close.
somebody
I'm going to
leaves,
San Diego,
something
not far.
happens.
Yeah, I feel like you're
Stay
gonna
woke.
you're gonna be the guy
gonna-
that leaves and something good happens now.
Something's good's gonna happen.
Khalif battle. I don't
Just
believe in
something.
manifestation,
Just
but I'm
something
manifesting
good
it.
will happen.
We'll see.
Well, maybe
Khalif
they'll grant
battle.
him an extra year eligibility when you leave.
Yeah,
That'd
Grant
be
House
good.
an
Wow,
extra
that
year of
would be
eligibility. Grant House extra year of eligibility.
Guys, regardless, we're gonna be back live right here at 2 p.m. But until then, enjoy the natty. Peace.